In this video, we're going to be looking at one of the gems of the early Beethoven sonatas. I don't want to spoil too much before we jump in here, but I will say before we get started, this piece has one of the biggest shockers of any Beethoven piece, one of the most shocking single moments. You'll have to wait a few minutes to get around to there, but let's jump in. Now, I know some people's short attention spans might not be completely drawn in yet, but I love when pieces start like this. You just can tell something's going to happen. Like, it also just shows a lot of Beethoven's confidence. He doesn't feel the need to start the piece off and impress you. I mean, there's already been a first movement that's probably impressed you a little bit, but at this point, he's just content to play a beautiful, really simple melody. And then he just repeats that first melody. Let's chat about this real quick. People often call this string quartet texture. The reason being there are clearly 4 separate voices. You can almost imagine a cello down here. My pedal is broken. Wait. That was terrible timing because I was trying to tell you that the lowest voice is not legato. It's detached. You can almost imagine a cello doing pizzicato or something. But then here it measures 5 and 6. We get an extremely legato texture, which is very contrasting to what we just now heard. So again, it's easy when you see Beethoven do it, but to come up with that's pretty cool. It really shows the difference of the first 2 sections. Now we're going to go in our second section. We really just did the A section twice. We started the same way, ended differently, and now we're going to get a little new melody. Return to the beginning. This doesn't seem like a big deal on the modern piano. We're like, yeah, I mean, there's low F sharps. This would have been Beethoven's second to lowest note. The only note lower he could have gone to at this point in his life most likely was the F. With the piano we think he had this time, F would have been his lowest note. Actually, F remained the lowest note for quite a while in this era. So he is actually playing this deep note, the second to lowest note on the entire piano. He's walking this down. You might ask why he turns around right there. Well, part of the reason is he literally cannot go to that E. That E does not exist on his piano, which is pretty cool. So if you ask yourself, have you heard this before? The answer should be no. What's really happened at this point is this is our first main second section. That first AABA that happened real quick was really kind of all within the first main section. This is our first very different place. Now I want you to take just a second and really soak in this gorgeous moment in this section. Now we just finished out a wildly chromatic measure, but we ended on a big A7 chord. And A7 is our 5 chord in which key? The original. So we head back to the beginning. Now this A section is largely similar to the first A section. We're going to do the melody, we're going to go away to kind of a secondary melody within the section, and then go back to our main melody and march all the way down to that F sharp. So let's kind of start from that F sharp section and then go on from there. Now, right here, if you're kind of wanting to get better at listening to classical music, you should kind of notice that, is this a melody we've heard before? Is this our B section? Well, let's kind of check. We have, okay, let's go back up to the secondary theme we had earlier, which was right here in B minor. Doesn't really sound the same. It doesn't really work transposed either. If we were to transpose it to the key of D, doesn't really relate to this other new section I went to, which is right here. So we had a big A section, a big B section. I mean, not that big, but big B section. We went back to the entire A section again, went all the way down to F sharp, and now we're on to something brand new. So you need to call this C. But the point of doing that isn't just to like give you a gold star and say, good job, you found out it was a C section, but it really is just to kind of formulate in your thoughts, how is this piece progressing? We did something, went away and came back all within the main section. We did something totally different and then went back to the main section. Well, some pieces at this point could just end. We kind of did the main theme, went away and came back. They could go back to that second theme again, but this is something brand new. So when we say C section, like I've mentioned in a recent video, don't just say in your head like, cool, I'll get a good grade in theory because I called it a C section. Really, the point is for you to kind of track, oh, we're in brand new territory. This isn't something that we've really heard before. Now, I promised you at the beginning of the video that this piece has a huge shocker in it, and we're getting close. As we wind down the end of this C section, we need to eventually get back to our first theme again. Probably. Let's see how he does it. And we're home. I mean, kind of. Like, this is our main theme, actually. This is our original. Except now we're in minor. Then on top of that, Beethoven does fortissimo to really, really just knock your socks off. Like, I can remember the first time listening to this piece, I was not looking at music, just listening. And yes, this caught me off guard quite a bit. Let's see how he kind of rounds it back and gets back to the original mode, major. We're in minor right now, and also we get back to the original theme the way we heard it the first time. So what is this? B flat major. So in a sense, we're further away. We were D major, which transposes directly to D minor, and now we're going to a big B flat chord. And all I had to do with that B flat chord is add a G sharp to it, which turns it into a German augmented 6. Augmented 6 chord went to resolve out, half step, the B flat goes down, the G sharp goes up. Now, interestingly enough, when you actually place the G sharp, this is like for you deep theory nerds, when he actually plays the G sharp, the B flat is no longer sounding. So what does that mean? Does that mean this is a G sharp fully diminished 7th chord with an implied B natural? So it's a chord. Or is the B flat still in force? In my ear, I probably hear B flat still, but it's not there, so we don't really know what it is. And if it is a German augmented sixth chord, it's a unique one where the G sharp is on the bottom. So instead of it resolving out, it's a diminished third and it resolves in. I'm sure Beethoven knew what he was doing and knew that he left out an essential ingredient for that last chord. He does this sometimes, and we just can't know. Or that either way, they both go to A. You have to ask yourself, what is A? Our 5 chord and our original key. And that is a simply gorgeous texture and a very simple, gorgeous texture. It's not that much. Actually, no part of this piece gets too difficult. Just a good example of there are times where composers like Beethoven can do beautiful stuff, and normally Beethoven pieces get hard at some moment, really hard. But this piece, not really. It never goes too crazy, and this might be hard to pull off, but not near as hard as lots of Beethoven sonatas, but this is amazing. The second violin actually gets to something a little fun for once, while the first violin, of course, still gets to show off and be the melody on top. But the result is just a simple, gorgeous texture. This is an example of you've gotten to the last line of the piece and the harmony becomes really simple. I mean, it's just 1-5, 1-5, 1-5, 1-5. Then you close it out. Comment down below. Let me know some other particular movements of Beethoven you'd like to hear me talk about in the future, or other composers too. But I love Beethoven. So give me a movement you want me to check out, and I will look into doing that. Thanks for watching. See you guys next one.